Okay. So this in Chime, there's this thing called the moving pictures tutorial, which goes through, a data set, an example data set, and people could go through and learn to use Chime. And the example data set they use is like there's two different individuals, and um, they've sampled themselves over time. It's a published paper. Um, that it's just like a really dense, long longitudinal data set. And they sampled four different body sites. They sampled their gut, they sampled which is in red here, they sampled their left palm, their right palm, and then their tongue. And so, like when I'm kind of uh teaching, I kind of show, okay, we can, look, come in here, we can color by, different things like, also like whether someone had taken antibiotics, um, which person it is, subject one or subject two. So, and so really it's more sort of allowing you to visualize how all these different things in your metadata, are kind of correlating with, um, so this is like days since experiments start where you could also do in here like a gradient coloration. So, you can kind of see, okay, there was some shifting over time because I've colored it, across, a spectrum. So, yeah, so like when I kind of teach this in class, I kind of show them, okay, you can come in here, you can choose a metadata category, you can choose whether you want a gradient or a non-gradient color. And, this is just sort of a simple thing to see that, like, even if I make the shape by like person, by subject, uh, sphere and diamond, that it's clustering by body site rather than person, right? So like body site is more important than person. And you have a clear divergence of the gut from the tongue, and then the left palm and the right palm are largely, overlapping with each other. And then I'll make a joke that like the left palm and the right palm are mostly clustering together, except you can see one of the right palms is clustering with feces, one of the left palms is clustering with mouth. How does that happen? Haha, like so like, it's sort of and in fact, it's like kind of a joke, like it gets a laugh, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, feces, we know, like, a major source of spreading of disease is through people's hands. And this is showing that indeed, sometimes there's fecal material in hands, you cough into your hand, but it's just sort of like, I think like a digestible, but then you could also get into, okay, well, how does antibiotics, affect it? So you can kind of see like, yeah, when these subjects took antibiotics, it shifted the composition, not so that it doesn't look like a gut anymore, but it did, shift it, both, you're taking oral antibiotics, but it's, yeah, it's shifting both in your mouth and yeah, in your gut, etc. So yeah, so that's kind of um how I does that make sense?
Yeah,